Welcome back to Pinpoint Pictures, my good people. I'm your host, P. Shout out to all my returning subscribers. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that bell before you go so you know when I drop a new video. Happy New Year, everybody. I took a bit of a break to end 2025 so I can stay in the moment with my fam. But we back now. It's 2026. Let's get ready for a legendary year. Today we spotlighting 8 of my top Wesley Snipes films. Some of the roles that show his range from streetwise anti-hero to blockbuster action star. You looking for grit, swag, or straight popcorn fun? I got you covered. This is the list for you. So let's dive in. First up, Sugar Hill, a 1994 drama film directed by Leon Achazo, starring Wesley Snipes, Michael Wright, and Teresa Randall. Follows 2 powerful drug-dealing brothers in Harlem whose bond is tested when one decides to leave the criminal life. I think this is one of those underrated slept-on flicks with a great cast of heavy hitters from the early 90s when movies like this were in the theaters, which we really don't see that anymore. But this here is a revenge thriller that blends street-level drama with an emotional twist. Snipes plays a man working tightly with his brother but wanting to escape the game to live a normal life with his new love interest, and gets drawn back into a violent world of crime and hustling to avenge the wrongs that's been done to his father and a close friend by the mafia family they're tied to. A raw, character-driven thriller that leans into the Harlem atmosphere. Excellent performances across the board. You already know our man from 5 Heartbeats does his thing as he always do. Another example of Snipes' ability to carry a gritty, emotionally driven lead role outside the blockbuster frame. Unfortunately, this one isn't streaming on any free or subscription platforms, but catch Sugar Hill for rent or purchase on Fandango and Apple TV. So check it out.
I don't want any more killing. I'm done. I'm finished.
Next up, Blade, a 1998 superhero horror film directed by Stephen Norrington, starring Wesley Snipes and Stephen Dorff. Follows a half-vampire, half-human warrior who uses his supernatural gifts to protect humanity from an underground vampire society. Now, y'all know I love vampires, and this here's the film that made Snipes a bona fide action star. Stylish, violent, and he made vampire hunting look cool. As many problems as Marvel's having trying to reboot the Blade series, I'm glad we got this trilogy when we did, because you kind of get an idea of why it's so hard to do this over. Comic book cinema was becoming a big thing in the 90s and cemented Snipes in the action realm with edge and swag as a half-vampire, half-human hunter facing the undead clan leader Deacon Frost, who got his own plans of obtaining Blade's special blood so they can take over, plus walk the daylight also. Hell of an intro to the movie with the opening nightclub scene, tons of blood while Wesley's fight choreography and lethal skill is on full display, laying everybody down to the beat. If you want to check out Blade, catch 1 and 2 streaming on Amazon Prime right now or for rent and purchase on Fandango.
Blade.
What y'all know about New Jack City? A 1991 crime drama directed by Mario Van Peebles, starring Wesley Snipes, Ice-T, Alan Payne, and Chris Rock. Follows the rise of a ruthless drug lord who builds a crack empire in Harlem during the 80s and the detectives determined to bring him down. This here, a legendary crime drama that captures the rise of a drug empire and the moral cost of the war on drugs. Gotta be on the Mount Rushmore of hood flicks due to how Snipes nailed his role as Nino Brown. Probably the most iconic role on his resume. Nino Brown, the charismatic, ruthless drug lord running Harlem and hustling out of the Carter. Ice-T and the law are forced to desperate measures as they try to go undercover to crack his organization. Everybody did their thing in here. Wesley, Ice-T, Chris Rock, G Money. Too many scenes, too many memorable lines, because this is a classic. A career-defining turn from being the bad guy in Michael Jackson's Bad video that shows Snipes' range and screen presence in a socially important story. But New Jack City isn't streaming anywhere free, so you gotta rent or buy it on Amazon Prime and Fandango. Definitely an old school favorite, always worth going back to. So check that one out.
Am I my brother's keeper?
Next, The Art of War, a 2000 action spy film directed by Christian Duguay, starring Wesley Snipes, Michael Biehn, and Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa, follows an undercover agent framed for murder who must expose international conspirators intent on destroying the United Nations. The first of three in the Art of War movie series where Snipes stars in the first and second. The third movie was something else, but we're not gonna go there right now. This one's a fast-paced conspiracy thriller with geopolitical flavor, with Snipes cast as an operative accused of murder and must use his smarts and combat skills to clear his name and expose a larger plot. So this is one of those roles where Snipes is both the brains and the brawn. It's a stylish movie, not as action-packed as it could be, also working with a decent cast of familiar faces, though somewhat of a predictable plot. You get all the gun battles, explosions, betrayal, and chase sequences needed to keep you engaged. Some effects may seem outdated, but doesn't hurt the film in my opinion. It was just on Netflix in December, but now if you want to give The Art of War a watch, it's available for rent or purchase on Amazon Prime or Fandango. I say go check that out. Now we go to Demolition Man, a 1993 sci-fi action movie directed by Marco Brambilla, starring Wesley Snipes, Sylvester Stallone, and Sandra Bullock. A police officer is brought out of suspended animation in prison to pursue an old, ultra-violent nemesis who is loose in a non-violent future society. I really dig this movie. This is where we see Snipes at his over-the-top best in a fun, wild sci-fi action flick playing an unhinged, extra-violent antagonist with a little bit of comic relief because of some of his quotable lines. We get two heavy hitters in Snipes versus Stallone who have crazy past brushes. Stallone wanting to capture and stop Snipes' madness, fall for one of his traps and gets blamed for a decent amount of casualties. Both cryogenically frozen, but released in a futuristic setting to renew their rivalry. Both giving amazing performances, but Snipes is the clear highlight due to being so chaotic and reckless. Plus, he's got the bleached blonde hair to kind of give him a comic book villain vibe. I've seen Demolition Man streaming on Tubi before. Unfortunately, it's not there right now, so if you want to revisit this classic or haven't seen it before, catch Demolition Man streaming on AMC Plus or for rent and purchase on Amazon Prime or Fandango.
I'm gonna love running this place.
Another fave, Passenger 57, a 1992 action film directed by Kevin Hooks, starring Wesley Snipes and Bruce Payne. Follows an undercover security agent forced to confront a terrorist hijacking a commercial airline flight. Another one of those underrated, high-energy, straight-to-the-point action thrillers for Wesley. Pretty simple but effective plot of needing to stop the hijacking of an airplane by a ruthless killer who's being transported, played by Bruce Payne, who does an excellent job in his role with his cold-hearted demeanor, and he's already got his crew in place to take over the plane and eliminate the passengers if his demands aren't met. Snipes nails this lead role with tons of charisma. Funny thing is that Wesley's character isn't all that comfortable flying, but here he is having to play hero, taking out bad guys while making mid-air fight scenes look cool, and gets the woman in the end. We've seen this same formula recycled through the years, but no one makes it look as effortless as Wesley. So if you want to give Passenger 57 a watch, catch it for rent or purchase on Fandango and Amazon Prime.
You ever play roulette? On occasion. Well, let me give you a word of advice. Always bet on black.
Now, The Money Train, a 1995 action comedy film directed by Joseph Rubin, starring Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, and Jennifer Lopez. Follows two foster brothers, also New York City cops, who plan to rob the money train on New Year's Eve to pay off one's debts. A high-energy buddy cop heist movie that pairs Snipes and Harrelson for their third film together, showing off their insane on-screen chemistry and comedic timing, balanced with action set pieces, as two transit cops planning a heist of the city's money train, all while navigating personal stakes and betrayal. That's where it gets spicy, adding in J-Lo as a third string partner, both of them crushing on. But Woody's a little jealous because Wesley is more of the ladies' man. So this movie's packed with tension, drama, and some decent stunts, especially when we get to the climactic train heist, and their greedy little annoying boss. Plus, I enjoy the back and forth banter between the two, but Money Train isn't available at the moment on any free or subscription services, so you'll have to rent or purchase it on Amazon Prime or Fandango.
You brought the money, right?
Yeah, $300.
Hey, mother owes Mr. Brown 15,000.
15,000?
Drop it.
Now, finally, White Men Can't Jump, a 1992 sports comedy film directed by Ron Shelton, starring Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, and Rosie Perez. Follows two basketball hustlers, Sidney Dean and Billy Hoyle, as they join forces to double their chances of winning money on street courts and a major tournament. Absolutely my favorite movie on this list, and one of my all-time faves. You know, there are some movies that are so classic they should never be touched or remade. This is one of those. And yeah, I know it was redone, but that just proves my point. Impossible to match the energy of the original. This is a sharp, extremely funny sports dramedy that pairs Snipes and Harrelson's charisma with on-point dialogue and chemistry. Endless quotables. Two hustlers team up on the LA streetball circuit with their own stakes and personal ambition, end up developing a friendship. Not to mention Rosie Perez adds a nice touch. This is their second film together, first as leads, and another one that'll have you cracking up from their back and forth banter all movie long. Still holds up today with a title perfect for its time, because it was a rarity to see white guys with major bounce on the court, but today there's plenty jumping out the gym. White Men Can't Jump streams on Tubi every other month. It's not there at the moment, so you know the drill. Rent it or purchase it on Amazon Prime or Fandango. And there you have it, my good people. That wraps up 8 of my favorite Wesley Snipes films. Snipes is a rare screen presence who can carry a blockbuster, anchor a drama, look cool beating down bad guys, and ball out on the court. These 8 films show the full spectrum of dramatic weight, action star magnetism, and over-the-top comedic energy. Pick one based on your mood, grit, adrenaline, or laughs, and let Snipes do the rest. Thanks for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos to come. Or if there's any movies or new releases you recommend, let me know and I'll get right back to you. This has been P of Pinpoint Pictures. See you next time for another deep dive into the careers that shape cinema. Y'all be safe out there.